National Championship game. Ewers loads it up. Intended for Mitchell. Elijah Jackson had the coverage. Washington hangs on and wins. The All-State Super Bowl with the college football playoff semifinal. Just the latest in a remarkable
Do that again. What's up? What's up, everybody? That was the call. Obviously, you guys just got finished watching Washington Huskies. Washington Huskies. 21 straight wins in the college football. Wow. Playoffs goes down to the wire. Both games went down to the wire. Phenomenal games, by the way. I know a lot of people right now will say the committee got it right with these games. But we will talk about these games in a session on Rise Up Late Night. I am Andre Robinson, the fire starter, in the building at 1 a.m. Yeah, on your horn. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in right now. For sure, this is going to be a fun, exciting show because I'm going to start the show off with Scroll Patrol. I'm going to start it off with Scroll Patrol. You guys, I'm going to get to scroll down, up and down the social media feeds to see what everybody is saying, and we're going to talk about it tonight. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun, and obviously the call line is there, 716-954-5209. By the way, Rise Up Late Night is brought to you by none other than the Upstate Lady Predators. Shout out to them. The Rochester semi-pro female football team. So shout out to them. Definitely phenomenal people. If you don't know about them, I want you to go on Facebook and look them up. Their page is on Facebook right now. The Upstate Lady Predators. Got big things coming up. Speaking of football, like I said, we're going to talk about the NCAA playoffs. And we're going to have a good time doing it, you know. I had to let y'all know what the call was. If I didn't hear the call already, or if you did not just watch that game, I wanted to make sure that you guys heard the call, the final call at the end of the game. Surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, that game went down to the wire. Washington 37, Texas 31. Let's talk about it. Let's get right into it real quick. Before we get into Scroll Patrol, let's talk about what you heard. So one more time for y'all. Hell of a play at the end of that game, by the way. Hell of a play. Hell of a play. Shout out to Paul Robinson, too, for providing that for me. Man, Washington opened up the scoring. Dylan Johnson with the 2-yard touchdown run in this game kicked off the scoring for Washington. Texas answered right back. This was a back-and-forth game, obviously. Jadon Blue, phenomenal talent, by the way. Jadon Blue, phenomenal talent. Got to give him a lot of props and credit for his efforts tonight for the Texas Longhorns tonight. He did his thing, but, I mean, Dylan Johnson, another touchdown run in the second quarter, put Washington up 14-7. Byron Murphy then tied the game up at 14 apiece right before halftime. We had two scores. Jalen Polk, 29-yard pass from Michael Six Jr. That guy is phenomenal, by the way. He is smooth as butter when it comes to being a quarterback. Smooth as butter. Now, if he ends up going in the draft, where would you put this guy? Where is he in the draft ranking right now? What would he be? Top 5 pick? Would he be in the first round? Would he be a second rounder? If he was to go in the draft right now, put that in the comment section. I want your comments tonight in abundance. Facebook user said, told you Washington was going to win. I'm not, you know what? I'm not surprised. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not surprised. 21 straight wins for the Washington Huskies now. Shout out to Dalton D-Man Smith in the house. He's from Texas. I know he's going to have a lot to say about this too, about Texas. But getting back to the scoring real quick, C.J. Baxter definitely tied the game at 21. So the game was 21 apiece. Facebook user said, I have him as the best QB in the draft. By the way, if you're tuned in right now, make sure you like and share this to your brothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, uncles, grandmamas, granddaddies. All right, we just watched the granddaddy of them all earlier, and we definitely gonna get into that too. All right, third quarter. Jalen McMillan, 19-yard touchdown pass from the hot boy. I'm gonna call him the hot boy, MPJ, the hot boy. putting it down. Washington up 28-21. Then after a Texas mistake, Grady Gross. I don't know if you guys heard about Grady Gross's story. They were telling it earlier in the show during the game. I think it's a phenomenal one, by the way. He put them up by 10, 31-21 to end the third quarter. Then we get to the fourth quarter. And this is where all the fun happens. All the fun happens in the fourth quarter, right? Grady Gross puts on up another field goal, 40-yard field goal, putting Washington up by 13. Alani Mitchell catches the 1-yard pass from Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is another good quarterback for Texas. Did a pretty good job. He was 24 of 43 today, 318 and 1 touchdown in this game, bringing them close. Grady Gross puts another field goal up. And at this point, with 2:40 left, I know a lot of people thought, like, okay, it's a 2-score game, less than 3 minutes. Washington can't lose. We are not the Miami Dolphins. You cannot lose a 2-possession lead in 3 minutes. Well, it almost happened. For those who's watching, it almost happened, folks. Unfortunately, Washington's running back, after the 25-yard field goal from Brett Auburn, the Washington running back ended up getting injured, which saved about 30 seconds of time. We thought that they would be punting the ball with like 15 seconds left, but it ended up being like 45 seconds left because, when you get injured, you stop the clock. It saved Texas about 30 seconds. And in those 30-plus seconds, you got to watch, if you did not watch, Texas drive all the way down to the 13-yard line. And on the last play, I played it twice already, you heard the call at the end of the game in which Washington's corner made a phenomenal play on the fade route in the end zone against Mitchell and Washington. Those Huskies survive. They survived to live another day. 21 straight wins now for the Washington Huskies. All right. Put your comments in the comment section. I'll be reading all comments right now. I am sharing the show right now as we speak too. I think I'm going to get off that for a little bit so I can look at these comments. Shout out to Deborah Beatty. I see you. Deborah, what's up, Dalton? Jennifer, what's up as well? Andy Babcock said they're going to win it all. Okay, interesting enough. The Huskies going to win it all, you think? Jennifer said the intro is fire. I appreciate you, but guess what? I would be wrong if I did not shout out the person who did this. Shout out to Ramona Dye. Phenomenal, by the way. Happy New Year, everybody, by the way. Should have said that. Should have started off the show with that, too. Happy New Year. But Ramona Dye is the one who created that. So shout out to her. I will not take credit for something I did not do. She made that video for me, and she's phenomenal. She does great work, by the way. Andrew, what's up? Braxton Hills, what's up? National championship bound Michigan Wolverines. We're going to talk about them in a minute. Andrew, what's up? Frederick Wilson, my guy, what's good? You heard him on the show recently, Frederick Wilson. Marcus Herring, what's good? I'm excited for things to come too. Me and Marcus been telling y'all some stuff for a while. Y'all just don't be listening to us. We need y'all to start listening. We need y'all to start taking what we say for some validity. All right, we ain't telling y'all this stuff for nothing now. All right, Sharon, what's up? Hi, Sharon. By the way, I am good, Sharon. When I meant to answer that question you asked me the other night when I made the post. By the way, I don't know if anybody saw the post, but I made a post about some of these fake, sometimey, half-assed, watered down, henpecked, washed up, wannabe fake journalists. Yes, I said it. And I did. Because for some reason, they don't put respect on our name. As a culture, they don't put respect on our name when it comes to sports journalism. And they better start to. Or I'm going to make an example every chance I get to make sure that they put respect on our name. Now, Texas put up a good fight. Washington's a good team. Michael MPJ should have won the Heisman. Should have. Congratulations to Washington. Longhorns had a great season. Still proud of my Longhorns. Hook 'em horns. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Braxton, Michigan Wolverines win it all. National championship this year. My Detroit Lions going 12-5 Sunday versus the Vikings. By the way, shout out to Braxton, who has been a Detroit Lions fan forever. I got to give you mad props and respect, man. For real. Sharon, I appreciate the love. I definitely appreciate the love. Like I said, like and share the show. We are on Rise Up Late Night, the late night show right here, 1:15 in the morning. I appreciate you guys for staying up. And you heard the double up when I said that too. Yeah, I meant that. So it had to be reminded twice. It had to be said twice. Now, so with that being said, let me get to some of these stats too real quick. Reading the comments. Love reading the comments. Keep them comments rolling. All right. Quinn, like I said, Quinn, I already gave Quinn yours stats tonight. I'm going to give MPJ's real quick. 29-38, 430 yards. 430 yards, y'all. 2 touchdowns tonight. I was waiting to see if Marcus the Alphabets was going to come up in this joint because I know he's from Texas too. And then, I got Washington fans like Paul Robinson, which I'm going to actually tag him in this for sure. Get him in here too. Hopefully I can hear from him later on tonight as it pertains to his Washington Huskies. Sharon, I know you don't like Michigan. Go Huskies. I know you're a Michigan State. You're a Michigan State alum, Michigan State sweetheart, chocolate girl, repping them Spartans. Y'all already know. Y'all should know this. If y'all don't know, now y'all know about the chocolate girl. Now, with that being said, I don't know, man. I watched that whole game, and I'm like, man, it just seemed like Washington was just a little bit faster. It was I was expecting a shootout because Pac-12 teams majority of the time do not play defense. As it was said earlier in the week about Washington giving up a lot of yards, we know that Pac-12 teams don't really play a lot of defense. So I was expecting a shootout. I thought that Washington definitely could take advantage of Texas secondary. I did think that, and they surely did. So it was the game that I thought it would be. It went down to the wire. Good for the committee to have 1 and 2 right. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 and 3 right. Good for the committee having 2 and 3 right. Texas beat Bama. We'll talk about Bama in a second. We're gonna talk about them in a second. I ain't off of that. But shout out to the Washington Huskies. Congratulations to them for winning this joint. Put your comments in the comment section. I don't like any of the teams in the semi today, not even the Huskies, but I never ever will root for that team up north. Never. Right? I thought it was going to be close, to be honest. Okay. Like I was saying, put your comments in the comment section. All right, we about to get into a little scroll patrol in just a moment, but first, we got one other game to talk about, and that was the Rose Bowl. Now, I'm going to actually be really nice today, for the most part. And I'm just going to say that Michigan, 14-0, after what was a phenomenal Rose Bowl. Defense has won this one. The defense has won this one. All right. Alabama started off, the scoring with Chase McClendon, who had a great game today running the football, 34-yard touchdown run, started it off, got him on the board 7-0, but then Michigan's running back came right back and caught a touchdown pass at 8 yards from J.J. McCarthy, which tied the game up. Second quarter, you had Tyler Morris with a 38-yard touchdown pass from J.J. McCarthy, and when they went to go kick the PAT, what happened? I don't know. For some reason, they had a Dallas moment against Seattle in which they fumbled the snap So Michigan ended up being up 13-7. Alabama ended up adding a 50-yard field goal at the end of the half, made it 10-13. Now, you knew at halftime that adjustments was going to be made, and here's why. Because the first half, what stood out the most to me was Michigan's pass rush. Michigan sacked Melrose 5 times in the first half. 5. And I mean, they was coming. They wasn't playing no games with Alabama early. Offensive line was getting dismantled. For the most part, besides the touchdown run that you saw, and that was off of a Michigan miscue, it was getting after Jalen Miller. It was getting after him and in a hurry. So you knew that Nick Saban was going to make some adjustments. He said it when they interviewed him at the halftime. I said, "Man, we gotta give this guy some time. We gotta protect the quarterback, and then we gotta run the football." What does he do? He comes right out in the second half and just runs the football, protects the quarterback. Quarterback gets to making some runs, some reads, watching when Michigan is coming with the pass rush, looking for open lanes, and that's what he was seeing. He saw some of those lanes, and you saw Milroe take off through the lanes, which was getting them some first downs. It's why Michigan was on the ropes. They had Michigan on the ropes with leading 20-13 when it came to the fourth quarter. I mean, I didn't even get to the rest of the summary, but I will get into it right now. Chase McClendon started off the second. Tyler Morris started off the second half. No, Chase McClendon. I'm sorry. Chase McClendon in the fourth quarter got back to what started off the game, running the football, touchdown. Alabama goes up 17-13. Then I'm gonna call him Will I Am, because from kicking field goals, that's what he do. He just make field goals. The guy is clutch. Puts up a 52-yarder, puts Alabama up by a touchdown. Now at this point, it's 4:40 left in the game. You're like, okay, here we go again with the Alabama stuff. All right, here we go. But what does JJ McCarthy do? Like a beetle, like a legendary beetle, hence his last name. The guy goes and performs and put in work. They get down there. Roman Wilson, who was, bottled up for most of the game, locked up for the most of the game, makes a phenomenal catch as he climbs the ladder. Tip ball and all, climbs the ladder, catches the ball, gets out at the 4-yard line. Then Michigan runs a phenomenal play in which they have been catching Alabama all night long when they was running these certain plays where they got people in motion. Alabama wasn't going in motion with them. They caught Alabama off guard again. They run the play. What happens? Touchdown. 4-yard touchdown pass to Roman Wilson, who made the catch before. He comes in motion, makes the easy catch, tie ball game. We go to overtime. Michigan gets the ball in overtime first, and Blake Corum does what he's done all season long, which is run the football. They score 12-yard touchdown run, puts Michigan up 27-20. Now, Alabama gets the ball. Alabama makes a first down, getting down to like the 12. Alabama getting closer, 4-yard line. Now it's 4th and goal. You go to, and this is questionable as hell. Yes, absolutely, Sharon. Missed assignments, totally. Not running with the players that go in motion. You're right. And I mentioned that too. I'm glad you saw that yourself as well. 4th down. They are going ape right now on Twitter. They are going ape on social media. Reese, I don't know his first. I forgot his first name. Put his first name in the comment section if you know his first name and his last name, so we have his full name. But the offensive coordinator for Alabama, sketchy. kind of fourth down call. I'm not understanding this one at all, where you run a quarterback draw in which the snap is low and then you get hit at the line of scrimmage and you trip over your own guy on top of it, the offensive lineman. You trip over your own offensive lineman, and voila, Michigan and everybody in Michigan, all the fans running on the field because they know now that the Roll Tide has just been washed away. 27-20. Hell of a Rose Bowl, by the way. Let me get to some of these comments real quick because I'm seeing them. Yep, granddaddy of them all. Alabama quarterback trash. He's not a quarterback. All he can do is run the football. Alabama quarterback, a running back. Agreed. Michigan defense was all over Milroe. Yes, it was. Milroe needs more college time. Sharon Milroe needs work on his passing. All he could do is run the football. He's a running back. Von Harmon, what's good? Shout out to you, my guy. Like and share the show, by the way. Come on, keep liking and sharing. I'm gonna keep passing this thing on too. While we're talking what we love to talk the most, and that's football. Y'all know that. We like talking sports in general. But playoff talk is on the docket right now. For those that's just tuning in, by the way. Mondre Source Robinson, the fire starter, in here. Sharon said, man, please. Yeah, he ran, but he threw passes that should have been caught right on the money. U of M corners just made good defensive plays. The wide receivers got breasted. Yeah. He a running back. All we seen is running. Bama kept on not running in motion with them. Missed assignments. I know what happened. Sharon, I watched the same game. The running back can't throw. Pathetic. Tommy Reese. Thank you. Tommy Reese is his name. I knew it was something Reese. Detroit got cheated versus the cow babies in my eyes. 12-4. Alabama Patriots threw away the game. Yeah. So interesting enough. I'm gonna be real nice. I wanted to go 8 after Alabama lost by saying this one thing. I will say this one thing, and I'm gonna leave it at this. 2 phenomenal games we watched, but, and this is against popular opinion, I do think that Florida State, with the second string quarterback and that defense, because this game was a defensive game and styles make fights, I do think Florida State would have gave us the same product with all of their starters, even if Jordan Travis did not play. I do think we would have got the same product, in which I already told y'all, I feel Alabama shouldn't have been there to begin with. And with that said, they ain't in there no more. So roll, tears, roll, because they gone. How about that? Have fun with that. All right. At home is where they should be. At home is where they at right now. So I guess the committee said, we needed y'all for the Rose Bowl. Clicks, money, but thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Michigan. Just slumped y'all. See you later. All right. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Now I knew me saying that would get some reaction. And Facebook user said, "Give it up, bro. Nobody checking for FSU." Well, that's the problem right there. I feel like, from an integrity standpoint, you should be checking for FSU. Also, I will tell you this. So I was sent something interesting. Matter of fact, I heard it myself, but I think I have it in words if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to read this real quick. And this is from Kirby Smart, by the way. That same team that, was national champions twice, the same team that Florida State played in Everybody's talking about, well, they beat them by 60. They beat them by 60, even though it wasn't the same playing field, even though you knew that they weren't going to have the same energy. I just wonder, and here's where I start to question stuff. And I'm good at these questions. I love asking questions. I'm good for asking questions. My first question is I get that it's a business, but if that was any one of your relatives on that team, would you have the same energy? Number one. And remember, these are amateur athletes. These aren't NFL athletes. These are amateur athletes. Okay. So I just want to know, if that was one of your relatives on Florida State's team, would you have the same energy? Because integrity wise, I think that the committee screwed big time. Integrity wise. Now, folks will say, well, we saw Liberty today get their butt spanked by Oregon. But if you noticed, Liberty was given the opportunity to be on the big stage, being that they're a FCS team. FCS, not FBS, FCS team. They were given the opportunity to be on the big stage, though. So I share the same sentiment as it pertains to the Florida State Seminoles. They should have had the same opportunity to be on the big stage, being that they were undefeated in a Power 5 team. And I don't want to get into all the analytics on it because we're going to get into Scroll Patrol, and I'm sure we'll have this conversation even more about what you just watched. But the football gods giveth, and the football gods taketh away. And if you ask me, justice was served. Big time today. Big time. Moral of the story for me, two teams that tried to take advantage of the injury, both going home right now. Texas almost got away with the injury, Washington injury that gave them about 30 seconds, almost got away with it, almost won. Nobody wants to see anybody get injured, but it gave Texas a 30-second advantage. They almost took advantage of it, but they're going home. Alabama took advantage of Florida State having an injury. Florida State should have been in it. They're going home. More of the story, don't try to take advantage of injuries. Okay? Usually doesn't go well. Now, Scroll Patrol. Let's get to it. All right. Right off the jump, as a Michigan fan, I want to see the Huskies win the chip since it won't count if we win it. Oh, well. Wow. Interesting. I would love to ask Frederick why he thinks that it won't count. Then again, I already know because of the whole speculation situation, which is something else that I brought up too. I felt like Michigan shouldn't have been there either. If your coach gets, or your team gets caught cheating, whatever the case may be, any other sport, your team is punished, not just the coach. In which I guess, Harbaugh got his suspension late. I mean, Michigan took forever, by the way, which is the reason why he got suspended for the rest of the season, late in the season, because Michigan took forever to answer to the NCAA, which I have some choice words for the NCAA, but I won't say them here just for the sake of, trying to stay as professional as possible, even though this is late night in which cussing is allowed here. I have no problem with a little profanity here and there, but whatever. Now, I think it does count, though. I think it'll count. Harbaugh hired an agent to explore NFL opportunities. He's leaving them behind and going pro. I wouldn't be surprised. Speaking of which, the better the better coach won tonight anyway. Harbaugh definitely was a better NFL coach than Nick Saban ever was. So, I mean, I knew it would be a clash of two great coaches, and I had Michigan winning, not just for the sake of Alabama being in the playoff, just because, but I just thought that it would come down to that. I've watched a lot of Michigan football this year, and Michigan definitely. I watched Alabama and I've watched Michigan, and I just thought Michigan had the better defense and would come up with more plays or make more plays. All right. Now, I think it'll count anyway, Frederick, though. Most people might try to put an asterisk on it, but I think it'll count. Moving on. Todd Rutherman from NFL is Life said, Dallas Cowboys fans saying they'll beat the 49ers in the playoffs. Okay. Um, I mean, anything could happen. Anything can happen, Todd. But I mean, if we're going by pattern, history says that that is a fallacy, major fallacy. The Cowboys don't even want to step to the 49ers. They get their boot smoked by the 49ers. They don't want no smoke with the 49ers. I mean, don't get it twisted just because they lost to Baltimore last week by 2 scores after Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions, and I think they had 5 interceptions in all, that means that the 49ers all of a sudden just is shark food. Don't get it twisted. Don't you get that twisted for 2 seconds. All right. Let me read this comment real quick. It says, Harbaugh, oh no. You talking about a legend. You can put the Harbaugh brothers together and they never won nothing. No, I mean, John Harbaugh's won a Super Bowl. Let's not do that. Jim Harbaugh's been to a Super Bowl. Let's not do that. And next week, if Jim Harbaugh can finish the job or finish the story, Jim Harbaugh is gonna win a national championship. If he can finish the story against Washington. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe we talking a little too early on that. Harbaugh brothers might make the Super Bowl this year too. I mean, John might make the Super Bowl this year. You don't never know. I think it's a little early for that. Got to give them credit where credit is due. Talking about a legend, Nick Saban is a college legend. We all know what he did in the pros though, with the Miami Dolphins. We all know. We ain't forgot. Rashad said these Washington wide receivers are different. Yeah, whole nother level. Both of them have over 1,000 yards. It's the reason today why they won. They exploited the matchups. Texas had issues. Texas couldn't stop them. Washington putting up 37. I mean, how many times have you seen Washington put up numbers and score? A lot. A lot, a lot. A lot, a lot. So you got to give them credit where credit is due. They putting up numbers and they ain't playing with you. And I wasn't even trying to rhyme on that, but that sounded good when it came off my tongue. So yeah, they're not playing. They're not playing any games with anybody. Washington came to do a job. 21 straight says that they handle business. They stand on it too. Pac-12 making the Pac-12 look real good right now. All right, moving right along. Oh, here's what I wanted to read. So this is what Kirby Smart said as far as the Florida State situation after he throttled Florida State 63-3. I mean, I tell you, he beat the brakes off of Florida State because he felt like Georgia should have been in it. Now, how many people feel like Georgia should have been in the national championship now that you've seen what Alabama just did? How many people feel that way? Put it in the comment section. And it's got an arm. Yeah, you got an arm. You got a rifle. And it'll shoot your eye out if you ain't careful. Yeah, he's not playing. I give him a lot of props. He's not playing. Now, did anybody answer my question earlier when I said, where would you see him if he was to go in the draft right now? What would he be? I think somebody said he's the best quarterback in the draft. I think that's what somebody said, but I ain't get too many answers from that. So I'm gonna ask again, where do you see MPJ Jr.? Where you see him going? All right. Now, moving right along with the Scroll Patrol. Says it needs to be fixed. It's very unfortunate that they have a good football team and a good football program, and they're in the position they're in. Georgia's win over Florida State is the largest margin of victory in ball history. The team finished the contest with 673 total yards to Florida State's 209. Opt-out, transfer moves, and injuries resulted in Florida State facing Bulldogs without their top two quarterbacks, running backs, receivers to go along with 8 defensive starters amongst them all. Mike Norvell outfit didn't have 29 scholarship players Saturday. You can't say it's their fault, and they have. You can say that it's their fault, and they have to solve their own problems. Smart at it. We had our guys; they didn't have their guys. College football has to decide what they want. I know things are changing, but there's going to be bowl games outside of those. People need to decide what they want and what they want to get out of it, because it's really unfortunate for those kids on the sidelines that had to play in that game that didn't have their full arsenal, and it affected the game, period. Even Kirby Smart is smart enough to know the difference. We Michael Vick them dogs. Yeah, y'all did. Y'all Michael Vick them. Y'all sure did. Top 2 with Caleb Williams is where y'all got Pennegat. Okay. Understand it. Got it. Good. Now, moving right along in the Scroll Patrol before I get into talking about the final between Michigan and, matter of fact, let's do this now. Who you with? I need to know who you with. Put it in the comment section. You can call too. It's down there. All right. The call line is down there. 716-954-5209. You can call that number and come on the show. I want to hear your thoughts. Don't be afraid to call. I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but don't be afraid to call. All right. Now, moving right along. Marcus Betts. What's up, Marcus? Shout out to you. Sorry that your Longhorns didn't make it. But they had a really good season. I'll tell you that. 10 straight victories, I think. Good for them. He posted, well done. And it's about the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins. I know Jay Renat would probably get a little annoyed that I'm singing his team's theme song, which is so annoying, by the way. It's so annoying that I actually sing it for some reason. Tyreek Hill, first player with multiple 1,700-yard receiving seasons. Shout out to Tyreek Hill, and he still won't be the MVP. On top of the fact, on top of the fact that they're in for a dogfight come next week. Speaking of which, Bills Nation said, and possibly go win the whole thing. My New Year's resolution is watching the Bills win the AFC East next week. I'm going to tell you right now, I told Jay Renard straight up since week 1 when I saw the Bills and all the Hollywood buffoonery. Hey, my son, Lord have mercy. When I saw all the buffoonery, huh? Okay. When I saw all the buffoonery going on with the Bills, I said the Miami Dolphins better win the division. Oh, okay. All right, all right. Say hi to everybody. They watching you cry. On off. All right. Look on the bed. Anyway, I said look on the bed. Anyway, I said that the Miami Dolphins better win the division. And what did they allow to happen? Last year, we seen the Miami Dolphins start off red hot in the season, hella cold. What is the Miami Dolphins doing right now? Doing the same thing they did last year. They're starting to choke the opportunity. And I told Jay Renard, I said, hey, be humble, because if it comes down to the last week of the season and the AFC East Championship is on the line, this does not suit you very well. If we go on by pattern, which people love to go by pattern, well, I want to make sure I remind everybody who's listening, tuning in, that the Buffalo Bills have beaten the Miami Dolphins 10 out of the last 11 times they've played. And that is undisputed. What's about it? No? Okay. All right. And that is undisputed, my friends. The only game that Miami has won in the last 11 tries was the sunstroke game, in which it was like 120 degrees, and we all know what happened with that. Yeah. I smell trouble in the water for the Miami Dolphins, especially if we're talking about injuries, which has been like a theme even in college football today alone. Yeah, Jelon Phillips had already tore his ACL, and then Bradley Chubb turned around and tore his as well. So they will be shorthanded. Plus, on top of that, will Jalen Waddle be 100% come Saturday or Sunday? Depending on, actually it's Sunday. They flexed the game to 8:20 Sunday Night Football coming up. They flexed it. Will he be ready? Is the question that everyone's gonna have to answer. Well, the Miami Dolphins gonna have to answer. Will he be ready? Waddle's ankle. And if I gotta go anything by what I saw with Baltimore, I don't know. If I'm the Bills, I'm watching. If I'm the Bills, I'm watching the Baltimore tape. I'm watching Baltimore's tape on what they did to the Miami Dolphins. I'm watching it because I want to see how Baltimore was able to put eight scores on Miami. All right, let me get to some of these comments too. Sorry about that, y'all. Let me get to some of these comments. I don't want to leave nobody's comments behind. Scroll patrol. I'm on the scroll patrol right now. But let me read some of these comments. Well, let's see here. Oh yeah, Buffalo gonna beat Miami. Miami Dolphins running back ankle injury too. Marcus Heron said I agree. Shout out to Jeremy. What's good, you guys? What's good? What's good? Let me see if I can get some more of these comments. Well, I hate losing comments. I do not like to lose any comments. But yeah, it's looking ugly. Even Melvin Gordon scored. When was the last time we heard from Melvin Gordon? By the way, folks, when was the last time you heard from Melvin Gordon? That's how crazy that butt whooping was. The fact that we even heard from Melvin Gordon is wild to me. All right. Zay Flowers killing him. Isaiah Likely was killing him. Isaiah Likely had 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, yeah. Patrick Ricard scored 4-yard touchdown pass. Oh my goodness, yeah. They used every bit of that arsenal and put every foot, hand, finger, toe, elbow, knee in Miami's ass. Badly. It was ugly. Yeah. Very ugly. All right. So what's up, Tay? What's up? Shout out to you, my guy. I see you on Twitter watching right now. Thank you. I appreciate you, my guy. Happy New Year to you as well. Melvin Gordon III. Yeah, I know. When was the last damn time you heard from him? Lord have mercy. Yeah, Huntley came in one snap and made a pass to Melvin. Yeah. Marcus said Eli Apple will probably start for Miami. I'm sure Josh and Diggs kept receipts on him. Oh yeah, you know that. But it's still F the Ravens. Of course, you know the Steelers play the Ravens this week. I expect the Steelers to do what they should do, and that's win the football game. So that means Buffalo better win because Jacksonville plays who? Tennessee. So Buffalo better win this game because if they don't and Jacksonville and Pittsburgh win their games, well, Buffalo's gonna have more problems to deal with. I'll tell you that, and it won't be pretty. Miami waved the white flag anytime, big homie. Same to you and your family. Yeah, you see him on the late night, son. He woke up randomly. I mean, he Energizer Bunny right here. Went to sleep for like an hour and was already back up. I think it was because I wasn't in the room with him. Dad's baby. This is Dad's baby, by the way. Now, with that being said, Jared Goff, first playoff with Detroit versus his old team, the Rams. Matthew Stafford, that's what they got set up, the league of the playoffs. That would be a good matchup. I'm okay with seeing that. I'm definitely okay with seeing that. Now, let me remind you that the call line is still open, 716-954-5209. Call in if you like. Ravens won't lose to the Steelers. Their defense playing on a whole different level, especially their pass rush. You think the Ravens, who already have the division, the number one seed locked up, the division locked up, is still going to play against the Steelers? You think they're still going to go for it? I don't know about that. I think they might play, what, a half, maybe? If I was the Ravens, I wouldn't even play. Why are you? That game does nothing for them. Game does nothing for them. I didn't even know Apple was still in the league. Yes, Eli Apple is still in the league. That's hilarious. Go Jared Goff beat the Rams. Yeah, Jared's a different guy. What's good? I see you on Twitch watching. Ben Hurd, what's good, my guy? Shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. You know what we doing. It's when it's the Steelers and Ravens, it's a whole nother story. I figured the Ravens defense would play, but not the offensive unit. Yeah, that's kind of awkward if they do. Let's go over some of these scores in the NFL too while we scroll patrolling. Bills win. Miami goes to Kansas City first round. Cheetah goes back to Arrowhead. Yeah, that would be nice. No Cam. Yeah, I know. I'm actually on the tablet right now. What's my Twitch name? It's Rise Up Family. Twitch name is Rise Up Family. Who do you think wins head coach of the year this year? Dan Campbell. That's not even a question. Is that a real question? It's Dan Campbell. Easily Dan Campbell. But it could be Kevin Stefanski again too. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it confused. Do not get it confused. It could be Cleveland. Watch out. Matter of fact, that would be a good game. I'd love to see Cleveland versus Detroit. That would be a good game. Two teams who used to be hella doo-doo, hella trash, going against each other. They're trying to make it Goff versus Rams and Flacco versus Ravens postseason. It could very well happen. That very well could happen. That's why I said Ravens defense will play. Lamar Zay and a few others may not. Right. You said that. I think Cleveland's coach should win it. Yeah, definitely. Or it could be D'Amico Ryans. I mean, it could be. It could be D'Amico. But I think it's between Dan Campbell and Stefanski, though. I do. Don't let Cleveland win out either. That's going to be crazy. I just let you know right now. So, okay, let's talk playoff picture before I even read these scores or whatever the case may be and keep going with the scroll patrol. Let's talk playoff picture right now, real quick. So, tell me when I'm wrong about the playoff picture. 1, Ravens. This is AFC. 1, Ravens. 2, Buffalo. Because I do think Buffalo is going to beat Miami. I'm sorry to say it. I'm not sorry to say it. I'm lying. 2, Buffalo. 3 is going to be Kansas City. 4 will be either Jacksonville or Indianapolis. 5, Cleveland. 6, Miami. 7, I don't even give a damn who's number 7. I really don't give a damn who's 7. Let's see. Who would be number 7? Oh, that's right. Probably the Pittsburgh Steelers, number 7. Right? Or would it be the Colts? No, I think yeah. Or it could be the Colts or the Texans, if I'm not mistaken. Colts, Texans, Steelers. You guys choose. Which one would you want to see in the playoffs? Colts, Texans, or Steelers? I know, Sharon, you're gonna say Steelers, obviously. But everybody, put it in the comment section. If Jacksonville loses, it's Indy or Houston, right? That's what I thought. Won't there be 3 teams with 11-5? It could be. It could be, which is shocking. But I think, honestly, no. 11-5? No, there's 17 games. So it would have to be 12-5 or 11-6. You think Cleveland's coach should win it? Deborah said the Texans. How far you got the Detroit Lions going? I'll talk about that in a minute as we talk playoff picture. So whoever's 7, right? So you got Buffalo at home game, Cleveland, Dolphins, Bills. No, Cleveland could be 12-5. Cleveland would be 12-5. If the Dolphins lose next week, they would be 12-5. No, I'm sorry, 11-6. If the Dolphins lose next week, they're 11-6. Buffalo would be 11-6, but Buffalo will win based on the fact that they beat them both times. Cleveland would be 12-5. Only thing is, Baltimore, obviously being 13-3 right now, can't lose the division. It's over. So Cleveland would have to be a 5 seed. 12-5. Dolphins would be 11-6. That's 6. They'd be a 6 seed. I go with either the Colts or Steelers. Both teams. There's unfinished business. Okay, I was confused trying to figure it out. Yeah, no, it's okay. Cleveland would be 12-5. Dolphins and Bills will be 11-6 at the end of it all. We know C.J. Stroud winning Rookie of the Year this year. Behind him, Sam Laporta. To me, it's Sam Laporta. Yeah, it's C.J. Stroud. No question. And if they make the playoffs, it's definitely C.J. Stroud. Yeah, it's okay. Come on, you baby. Come on, you. I should put hands on you. Anyway, it is whatever. Anyway, so Buffalo gets the 7 in a home game. I got Buffalo winning at home. The first playoff game. We got a caller on the line too. Let's see what the caller. We got 256. Caller, what's up?
This is EMC Reggie Fresh in the building.
Reggie Fresh. Oh my goodness. Happy New Year. I have not heard from Reggie Fresh in so long. Reggie Fresh, my guy. What's good? Hold on. Before we get to talking, Reggie, what about Puka Nakua? Yeah, Puka could be a good pick for Rookie of the Year too. CJ Stroud is the truth. If Jacksonville loses and Pittsburgh loses, winner of Indy and Houston gets the division. Loser is a 7th seed. Okay, got you. So that means Buffalo is getting somebody, one of them. I still got Buffalo winning. So that means that's a 2 seed advancing. Kansas City is a 3 seed. I'm going to be honest with you. I think whoever is the 3 and 4 seed, they're doomed. I think the 3 and 4 seed this year is doomed. I don't care if they get a home game. I think they're doomed. If the 3 seed has to play Miami, which is Kansas City, that's going to be a tough one. Miami on the road against Kansas City. Kansas City's inept offense. Can Kansas City's defense keep the Cheetah in line? I don't know. Especially after Miami loses this week. I think Miami's going to be looking for a bounce back. It'll be in the playoff for sure, which means Miami could come out with a chip on their shoulder. Kansas City has not shown that their offense can do much, a whole hell of a lot. They're in trouble. I think they're a first round out. Miami probably will beat Kansas City. The 4 seed, obviously, whoever the AFC South team is, they're doomed because they're playing red hot Cleveland. Red hot Cleveland. I got Cleveland beating whoever the 4 seed is. Whoever. I don't give a damn who it is. It could be Houston. It could be Jacksonville. It could be Indy. I don't give a damn. Whoever it is, Cleveland ain't playing. Cleveland not playing. That defense is stout. And that offense with Joe Flacco, who should be comeback player of the year, by the way, is tough. Okay? So 2 versus 7. Yep. Marcus put it down here. 2 versus 7. 2 versus Houston is what he got. 3 versus Miami at Kansas City. He's got Indianapolis winning. Okay. Versus Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland's beating them, and I think Miami is beating them. So then now, set it up. You got the 6 seed, the 5 seed, and the 6 seed going against the 1 seed and 2 seed, which would mean Miami would have to take another trip back to Buffalo again. See how that crazy shit works? Miami would have to take another trip back to Buffalo again to repeat last year. And then Baltimore would get Cleveland. Wow. Now, I'm going to tell you that if I got to go between the Ravens and the Browns, it could get a little sticky. That could get a little sticky. And I'm only saying this because Joe Flacco, to me, career-wise, has been the better playoff quarterback. And we all know what Lamar Jackson has done in playoffs. Everybody knows what Lamar Jackson has done in playoffs. It's not pretty. In fact, I was here for one of them where Lamar Jackson got knocked right out of a game against Buffalo a couple seasons ago in the playoffs. And Baltimore went home. If what I wrote is true, Devin Singletary come back, Cheetah goes to Kansas City. Yeah. So now we got Reggie Fresh on the line. Reggie, what's up, my guy?
What's going on, brother? I just heard you talking, man. I got some, I agree with some of the things you said, but some of the things I don't agree.
Tell me what you don't agree with first.
I tell you what, you're a Buffalo fan, I know.
No, I'm not.
I thought you was a Buffalo fan. You ain't a Buffalo. You a Green Bay fan.
Yep, Packers fan, but I cover the Bills.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. But listen, you know, I'm a diehard Steelers fan. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like how we've been playing, but we got too much talent in losing the games we lost. We should have never lost. All because of the coaching and the offensive coordinator, the stupid play caller. We got a handful of plays and everybody know them, right?
Matt Canada.
Yep, Matt Canada had a good. And even when he left, they were still using some of his plays. They got a little better, but it still didn't make a difference. But I threw my hands and I was through with Rudolph. Rudolph was not. I just gave up on him, and I said he has to make a believe out of me because he didn't have 3 or 4 chances and he said it was garbage to me. But then when he came back, he redeemed himself. Oh, you're a believer now, though. No. The reason why I say that is I watched him. He looked like a quarterback. Rudolph didn't even look like a quarterback. When I've seen his balls, I see what he did. He went back and bounced. He was humble and he prayed a lot. And I'm telling you, man, I watched the guy stand in the pocket. He ain't made no mistake. This ain't no Rudolph. I'm telling you, he made a complete 360. But I knew what he said. When I get a chance, the next time I get a chance to get out there, I got to get in. Because I know I ain't going to have no more chances. And I'm going to tell you, that's what Rudolph did. Now, back to the subject. Rudolph is going to be the guy that's going to take Pittsburgh far. And this is what I'm saying. And watch this now. Watch this. We got to have help. Baltimore Ravens, we're going to beat them with a starter, though, if they don't start them, because we got their number. We already done beat them once. Number 2, Lamar Jackson is 80% of their offense. You know if something happened, it's a wrap. Okay, so let me correct you there. Lamar Jackson is only 57% of their offense this year. They don't win. It went down some because some of the players got better. You're right, but still, it's still a big dent if he's out of the play. It's a big dent, man. Right. You got to have him on the floor. You got to have him. In order for them to win in the playoffs, he got to be on that damn field. Period. Yeah. Now, watch this. Buffalo should have got beat by New England, but they did. Then they lost that one game previously. But I'm going to tell you, Miami got that ass whooped. I'll see my language. Got their butt whooped. But check this out. They're not going to lose no 3 games in a row. Because every year when Miami plays a team like New England and Buffalo in Miami, not going to beat them. I'm going to tell you right now, Miami will upset Buffalo this week. What's going to happen is, because all we need to do is win out. And that team we got that option. That's one of the best options. I think the Titans is not going to beat the Jaguars. And it ain't going to be no tie with Houston and the Colts. So I already know we ain't even worried about that. But Pittsburgh is going to get in the playoffs right now because they're going to beat Buffalo. They're going to beat Baltimore. Buffalo going to get beat by Miami. And the playoffs, Pittsburgh going to get in. And right now, the 2 games, Pittsburgh will be the hottest team going in at the playoff spot. And Baltimore going to get that bye week, and that's what's going to kill them every time. Watch and see. They're going to get too relaxed. And they might have to play up. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, but guess what? Pittsburgh balling. Don't nobody want to see. You know Pittsburgh here. You don't want to see Pittsburgh in the playoffs. Not the way they playing right now as we speak. And that's my intake on it. All right, so if my team don't win, I'm going to go for the Detroit Lions. Okay, so I got a question for you. So you have the Buffalo Bills not making the playoffs this year. No, I'm so let me ask you this though, looking at it, so if they get beat, I think they're gonna make it to the playoffs because I think the Colts or the not the Jaguars, the Colts or the Titans, the Texans would be one of the eliminated teams. So Pittsburgh gonna get one of them spots. I feel like Buffalo can make it. Okay, so I'm gonna say this right off the jump. Let me remind you. I ain't saying it because I'm a Steelers fan. I just think that's what it is. All right, so let me remind you that Buffalo. I'm gonna say this again. I said this earlier at the top of the in the beginning of the broadcast. We into now what's gonna be the second hour of the show. Yep. I'm gonna tell you that Buffalo has beaten the Miami Dolphins 10 out of the last 11 times they've seen the Dolphins.
10
Okay.
out of the last 11. The only game that Miami won was the heat stroke game, which they won by 2 points, and Isaiah McKenzie's silly ass didn't go out of bounds. Let's be clear.
You're right.
Now, Miami is down 2 linebackers. Well, I would say a defensive end and a linebacker. And Waddle is not 100%. Tua also had a shoulder injury this week as well from that Baltimore beatdown that they took. Will they be healthy enough in time to play a Bills team that we have watched from week to week? Now, the Bills last week, you mentioned that New England should have beat them, right? Because they played dismal, or they played a mediocre game, according to you, right?
Yep.
It has been the pattern.
They got beat previously, remember?
Right, but I will tell you this, that it has been the pattern that Buffalo the next week comes back and plays. And they play really good teams very close. Let me give you the pattern in case in point. The Philadelphia Eagles, Buffalo played them very tough. The Kansas City Chiefs this year, Buffalo beat Kansas City. Buffalo has not lost to too many bad teams. Too many good teams this year. Buffalo has lost games to teams that they shouldn't have lost to late in games. Denver being one of them, the Jets being another, New England being one. I mean, they've lost a couple of sketchy games that they shouldn't have to competition that we would say is lower than Buffalo. But when it comes to the good teams, I don't know. I'm going to tell you that Miami should not have ever left the division to come down to the last game of the year, in which you got to go see Buffalo. Well, Buffalo coming to see you, and we all know the pattern on that. We all know.
Check this out. You're right, but check this out now. There's 3 things that I want to point out to you. Look, now Miami got that butt whoop, and this is gonna be their third time. They ain't gonna lose. For me, they won't lose 3-1. And I know you said that pattern was going on, but you remember all them years, Miami wasn't no good anyway. Only team in that division was really good was New England. And New England would get upset every now and then by Miami in Miami or against Buffalo in Buffalo. But that's one scenario that's gonna happen. So that's what I'm saying. And Buffalo really ain't playing that good. So Miami, man, them jokers is playing in Miami, and that home field advantage is great. See, to most people.
Now we're gonna see.
With Pittsburgh, we play on the road just as good as at home. Plus, our fans are worldwide. We take over stadium. So I'm just saying, man, that I got a feeling that it's gonna work out to my favor in the Steelers because Buffalo, Miami, they hungry. Even on them injuries, they'll be all right because they're gonna be at home. They're gonna be amped up, and Buffalo can't play like they did against New England.
Well, I tell you what. If I was Miami, they better come ready and amped up because we all saw what happened earlier this year when Miami claimed to be amped up and ready, and they had all their starters against Buffalo earlier in the year, and Buffalo almost put up a 50-piece on them this year, earlier this year.
You're right.
So if I'm the Bills, and all I'm gonna say is, if I'm the Bills, I'm watching 2 tapes. I'm watching the tape that they beat Miami 48-20, and I'm watching the tape that Baltimore just put the beat down on the Dolphins just last week. I'm watching both of those tapes, and I'm taking away from whatever those 2 tapes tell me. I would be, if I'm Joe Brady, I'm running everything out the kitchen sink against Miami.
Right. And you know, man, but what I say to people, this is my philosophy. I don't care if you're a bad team, you shouldn't lose at home. Home field advantage is very, very important. Very important. And give you a prime example. The way Pittsburgh been playing for these little last 2 games, I don't care if Seattle is 2-10. You ain't gonna beat them 9 times. It's hard to beat Seattle, regardless of who team they got, who's playing, whether it's Russell Wilson. It's hard to win in Seattle, and you know that. You know, Pittsburgh can go way to the. So I'm just saying, man. Hopefully, Miami ain't gonna lose that. And if anybody on here is a Buffalo fan, if they want to put some money on it, then they got the right one.
Marcus Herring asked, and I'm gonna read some of these comments real quick. I gotta read them all. Real quick. So Lamar going in with a chip on his shoulder. That would be a hell of a matchup. Yes, it would. Cleveland and Baltimore is gonna be a hell of a matchup coming to playoffs. I don't know that I don't know about that. Lamar's really spinning the ball this year. Of course, a squealer would write off Lamar. Said, you got Rudolph the red-nosed bum at quarterback.
Who he like? Who does he like?
I don't know. I don't know who Facebook user is, but right now. But he said, we've beaten Rudolph before, so don't get cocky, said Tay. Tay is a Baltimore Ravens fan, by the way.
He listening, but he gotta understand. Did he hear what I said? Rudolph done made a 360. So it ain't the same Rudolph you're playing, whether you got a red nose or not.
Right. He said, remember the Mafia come 50, 75 charter buses deep. Said, I thought Buffalo had that game against Philly. Yeah, they should have had that game against Philly. After that game, I was on the radio. I said the rendition of Fly Eagles Fly. I said, bye McDermott, bye. But and I'm one to admit that I said that.
Right.
So, all right.
All right, and then the last thing I want to say to you before I let you go, brother, I got to get the Dallas Cowboy fans. If y'all own this, I can't stand the Cowboys. They think they gonna win it. They do this every year, going to the Super Bowl, and as you can see, they always make an accident ready to happen. And they ain't gonna let you down. Watch it, see, one and done. They shouldn't have got beat. They shouldn't have. That was a bad call. I don't like the call that they did. They cheated Detroit, but Jimmy Johnson was in the building, so they had to let them jokers win that game. And they know they lost that game. But guess what? They one and done. Dallas Cowboys is not America's team. I don't know where they get that from. Only thing good about them is they cheerleaders. Other than that, they suck. And they ain't gonna go nowhere. So they're gonna have something in common with Alabama today. They're gonna be one and done. Like Alabama. I'm sick of them. I live in Alabama. I can't stay in Alabama. I'm a fan in college. But the thing about Alabama, they always swindle to get them in the playoff. Only team I know that can lose and can still get in the playoff, and they rob Florida State, and that's what they get. So
hello. Somebody say that again. Say that for them that didn't hear you in the back.
They robbed Florida State. Period. They shouldn't have got in it. They try to make them in it. I don't care what they say. And the SEC, to me, it ain't all up. Sick of that. Oh man, the SEC ain't nothing they can get beat. Just like any other team. I'm sick of that. You just don't play nobody. You must around and play somebody like Grambling. They ain't no big school. They some big fast kids or speed kids. They don't want to play no schools like that because they fear they're gonna get beat. Anybody can get beat. I don't care what kind of team you got, how big you are, how much money you got. And if you don't believe me, ask Mike Tyson. How many times y'all done lost money on HBO for pay-per-view off of Mike? Because Mike was knocking people out. But you know why? You know why he was knocking people out? That's all he can do, because that's about 5 more rounds. He was done. So I got to put that out there. So roll tide, all that old getting in the playoff stuff, and it ain't gonna happen no more. Them days are over because you got a lot of competition now. Ain't nobody worrying about no SEC. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got to say, brother. MC Raging Fresh, nice being on your show, man, and I'll holler at you.
I appreciate you again, Reggie. Happy New Year, man, and don't be a stranger.
You already know. And anybody wants some bet, all they got to do is let me know. Pittsburgh or Miami.
Got you. All right, shout out to Reggie Fresh for calling. 256 in the building, calling. Let me read some more of these comments. Yo, y'all got me dying laughing over here. Said, we always take over stadiums wherever we go. Oh, so that's a Bills Mafia guy. Put Facebook user, who are you? Please put your name in the comment section so I know who you are, so I can stop saying Facebook user. Tay Stevens, what's up? He said, and that was after Miami hung a 70 piece. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they were talking all that junk about Miami hanging up 70 pieces on folks. And we forget that Miami damn near had a 50 piece hung up on them this year and a 60 piece hung up on them this year. Like, what? Like, let's stop this. I mean, Miami was doing all that talk. They were doing big talking when it was Miami hanging up a 70 piece on Denver, but fail to realize that Miami done got a 60 piece damn near and a 50 piece damn near hung up on them this year. And I ain't gonna hold you. They in trouble. I mean, Reggie Fresh, I hear Reggie Fresh, what he's saying. I know he's a Pittsburgh fan, so he want Pittsburgh to get in. So, of course, he want Buffalo to lose, but I don't see it happening. I ain't gonna hold you. I do not see it happening. I don't see him. Yeah. He calling from Alabama 256 talking crazy. Oh, it's me. Oh, Doug. Okay, Doug, what's good, my guy? Yeah, nah, he ain't talking crazy about that Florida State thing, though. I told you, you know how I feel about that. I agree with him on that. Totally. The refs didn't call that blatant horse collar. Yeah, I know. Cowgirls ain't won the Super Bowl since Return of the Mac. I am dying. Hold on, I'm dying. I'm leaving that comment up there too, Tay. I'm gonna leave that one up there. That's gonna be right now. That is the comment of the night. Somebody gonna come up with a better comment than that, but that one is funny. That is hilarious. If we had more time, we'd have scored 60 plus. Yeah, oh yeah, I know. Reggie Fresh said, "Hey, Del, put up your money where your mouth is. Bet we can bet on Pittsburgh game and bet on the Miami Buffalo game." I don't know if you want to do that. That might get you some money took from you. I don't know about that Buffalo Miami. Pittsburgh, maybe. Buffalo Miami, I don't know. All right, let me read some of the comments over here. Why will Miami beat Buffalo? I have no hell of an idea. Why? I think the Philadelphia Eagles are one and done. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about the NFC picture, too. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in right now. Again, you are watching Rise Up Late Night with your guy, Andre the Torch Robinson, the fire starter, in the building. We doing Scroll Patrol and talking NFL stuff right now. Talking big stuff on this NFL weekend coming up. You know, this is going to be a big weekend coming up. Now, said fans throwing drinks at Panthers games. Said you are absolutely speaking as a fan. No rigged games for Cowboys. You are definitely the typical Lions fan. The Bills have beat Miami and Miami plenty of times. I've been there every year, last 20 years. I'll be there Thursday. Oh, Marcus, you going to Miami? That's what's up. Oh, yeah. That's going to be me giving you a Facebook call coming up Sunday night. Yeah, buddy. Because there definitely will be a Rise Up Late Night after that coming up. Definitely. Cheater don't prosper. McCaffrey injury. Yeah, calf strain. Yeah, he won't be playing. He definitely won't be playing this week. But, you know, San Francisco pretty much got the number one locked up. So, yep. I was hoping to score 63. I ain't gonna front. Yeah. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, you already know it, Tay. Got the comment of the night. Hold on. Let me put that comment back up there. Cowgirls ain't won nothing since Return of the Mac. If Marcus Betts was on here, he'd be having something to say about that. Buffalo beating Miami. They are gassed and worn out. Yeah, I'm telling you right now. Sure. Okay. Reggie, how about this? This is what I'm gonna do. I'll take it. I'll take you up on it. Why not? You said put your money. I'll take you up on it. What you want to bet? I will bet you $50 right here on Rise Up Late. 50. Yes. Catch it, coin it. Somebody, if y'all want to clip this, y'all can clip it. Clip it if you want. I'm okay with clipping it. You got Cash App? If you got Cash App, I will bet you $50 right now that the Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins come Sunday night. I'll put it on there. Now, get back to the Scroll Patrol. Oh, that was coaching. Why the F do you try a flea flip? Yeah, I was wondering that too, Marcus, by the way. This is you. We're Talking Sports. Shout out to We're Talking Sports, Marcus Herring. Yeah, I was wondering why Michigan did that. I'm like, dude, and you didn't even block on the play too, which made the play look kind of goofy. Made it look hella goofy. Didn't even block. Trying to be cute. Uh-huh. That's what happens when you're trying to be cute. Aha, okay, I see you. I see you. Now, let's see if you in the same joint. Reggie Fresh. Hey, Mashonda, shout out to you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Mashonda. Shout out to you. I know you're doing big things. Shout out to NU, by the way. Niagara University. In the house. All right, got to keep this Scroll Patrol going. Yeah, we keeping it going. We keeping the Scroll Patrol going, little man. Oh, you done got down. Oh, okay. You want to get back up here? You trying to get back up here? Come here. Hey, little buddy. My forever buddy in life right here. Now, we scrolling. We keep scrolling. I don't see nothing yet. I guess this is why. Okay, I'm not talking about why the committee didn't put Florida State in again. I'm not talking about that again, especially after we just watched Alabama lose. I'm not even doing that. That would just be a waste. All right. Well, while I'm sitting here, we'll go with reading some of these. Happy New Year's. Absolutely. Happy New Year's to you. I'll go with reading some of these scores from last week. Cowboys 20, Lions 19. Questionable call. I want to know, once again, where did the Lions get cheated at? Because I watched that play like 20 times. The offensive lineman, did he announce himself eligible? Because I didn't see it. I was trying to look for it. I mean, you're supposed to do something like this or something that allows the refs to know that you. I didn't see it. So if y'all seen it, I don't know. You acting like Bama got dragged and went down to the wire. I don't care. They lost. Again, see, here we go again. Hell, a loss is a loss, whether you get dragged or not. Whether you get dragged or not, you lost. They won and done. They going home, which is where they should be at anyway. They should have been there to begin with. I told you at the beginning of the show, I feel like Florida State, with their defense and all their starters on offense, with the quarterback, second string quarterback, could have put up just as much of a fight. I think that matchup, Michigan and Florida State, would have been a clash of defenses, styles fight. We got to understand the styles. Styles make fights. Georgia beat the brakes off of them because they felt, here we go. I think this is Reggie Fresh again. I think he called it again. I think he heard my bet. So we're gonna call right now. Hold on. We're gonna put him on the line again.
Brother Andre,
Yes.
we just made that bet, my boy, brother Doug. But we gonna make you be confirmed, so can't nobody be running around talking about how they didn't pay, because I don't like no bad name. I'm gonna pay if I lose, I'm gonna pay that, and that goes with him too. So just let him know you confirming it. We going through you, so you know we bet 50-50. We bet 50 on Pittsburgh, and he bet 50 on Buffalo.
For sure. Yep. I got 50.
So you see that you got that right. It's confirmed. So you know I'm legit. So all I know is whoever lose will pay up, and ain't nobody got to be running. And you know how some niggas doing. So
oh yeah, I already know. Yeah, I don't run.
So I just called you so you could be. So you can be you on phone, and it's live. We talking about it, so he can understand that I'm about my business. Kelly, he must don't know who I am. I'm a real Steelers fan.
Right. Oh yeah, I know. You're OG Steelers fan. I got you.
So me and Doug, the bet is confirmed. So we'll pay after both games if we play. We play Saturday, he plays Sunday. So even if we lose, I'll wait till the next game, so I might have to pay him both, or we'll break even.
Right, absolutely. Let me.
All right.
Got you.
All right, go.
Now, Ricky Graves, what's good, my guy? Facebook user. Who is Facebook user? State your name, the other Facebook user, because there's got to be two different ones now. I see you acting like Bama got dragged, so I know that's Doug. And then I know the other Facebook user just said, we with Florida State because a loss is a loss. Absolutely. He said, yo, Bama, we need you for money and ratings for this Rose Bowl. By the way, deuces, thanks for coming. They said, yep, deuces, thanks for coming. Well, Michigan, go ahead. We're going to pick the lesser of two. Well, I don't think it's the lesser of two evils, but Michigan gonna rock out on this. Michigan gonna go ahead, send you home. It's good. Thanks for coming. You know, we screwed Florida State just so you can go one and done. Yeah. All losses count the same as wins. You can only win or lose. There's no in between. Right. I don't care if you get beat by 60 or you lose by 3 or 7. A loss is a loss. You went home. It's over. It's over. Home. You're going home. And Alabama roll, tears roll right now because they're going home. Right now. Now, with that being said, so it's on YouTube video. Yeah, I looked at it. Listen, I got YouTube TV, so I looked at it 1,000 times over. And I don't see where the offensive linemen declared eligible. I don't see it. I didn't see it. So if you can put it in my inbox and show me, I'll watch it. But I ain't see it. Now, with that being said, moving right along in the Scroll Patrol game. Yeah, Browns 37-20 over the Jets. Joe Flacco been throwing the football like he out of his mind. 300 plus yards, 4 out of the 5 games that he's played. I mean, Joe Flacco definitely should be comeback player of the year. And he's only played 5-6 games, which is crazy. They talking refs, told refs. Oh, he told the refs. I need to see it because I was watching to see if he ran onto the field and told the refs. I don't know. I'm trying to see it. I mean, I don't care about the Cowboys, to be honest with you. I mean, even though I don't like the Eagles either, but whatever. Bills 27-21 over the Patriots. We already know that was a lackluster game. Bills defense played well. Got a bunch of turnovers in that one. I was there for that one. It was quite interesting. The first quarter took about an hour. Lord have mercy. Yes, my little buddy. All right, five, Dada. Thank you. All right. Bears 37, Falcons 17. Bears got a bright future ahead of them. I'll tell you that. Bears have a very bright future ahead of them. I want to know what direction the Bears gonna go in, because I mean we've had conversations about the Bears in the most disrespectful ways for a while, but now the Bears seem like they're getting it together. So I'm interested to see what direction the Bears are gonna go in after this season coming up. Also, the Packers play the Bears last week of the season. If the Packers win, the Packers are in the playoffs. Interesting enough. I guess we're going to get some postseason love this year, huh? Pause. You go ahead and handle that. I know you want to handle that. So I'll go ahead and mix it up. We'll go scroll patrolling. All right, let's see here. Let's look up some of these scores real quick. Kyle Babies can thank Jimmy Johnson. If it wasn't for Jimmy Johnson, they would have lost. Oh yeah, I mean, It's Jimmy Johnson night. It is what it is. Don't get upset about it though. Don't get upset about it. You know how you handle that. You know how you handle that. Go ahead and win in the playoffs. That's how you handle that. Go ahead and win in the playoffs. Simple. Now, let me get back to these NFL. Okay, Mr. Despicable Me. All right. Moving right along. I think I pulled them up. Again, shout out to everybody that's tuned in. I'm up with the little guy. The little guy done got up. Sitting up with Dada. Now, Colts 23, Raiders 20. Lord have mercy. I don't know what they're going to do with the Raiders this year. Devontae Adams coming up in the off season. I don't know. First and foremost, I think they better, if they're smart, they better keep Antonio Pierce as a coach. If they're smart, they're keeping Antonio Pierce as a coach. You know, again, this is a culture thing for me. We need more representation in the NFL as far as coaching is concerned. Antonio Pierce, I think, has done a good enough job where he can be the head coach. So that better be for starters. And then Raiders got to go get him a quarterback. Raiders have to go get a quarterback. I just don't think Jimmy G is it again. Rams 26, Giants 25. I'm interested to see what Dabo and Chauvin do when the season is over. You got some questions to be answered. Saquon Barkley, well, what's going to happen with him? What's going to happen with the head coaching and GM position? Because from what I got, they're not getting along at all over there at MetLife Stadium. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in that situation. Rams could make the playoffs. They're going to be interesting. They're going to be a tough out, by the way. Matthew Stafford, with the running game that he has and the weapons he has, with Cooper Kupp and Puka, with Kyron Williams, they're going to be tough. They are going to be tough. Aaron Donald still hanging around. They're going to be tough. They're going to be tough to beat. Cardinals 35, Eagles 31. I'm going to tell you right now, I think the Eagles is a first round out, depending on who they play. If they don't get this situation settled, and they have had 8 weeks to do it, by the way, they have been skating under the radar since they barely beat the Washington Commanders. And that was, hold on, and I will make sure I pull this up real quick so that I give you the specifics when I talk about these Philadelphia Eagles, who are now 11-5. They have definitely been skating under the radar. Let me tell you. So watch this. If I give you since week 1, you guys are going to be like, damn, man, we was all on the Eagles' jock this season. So week 1, they won against the Patriots because, and I remember this, because the receiver couldn't get his toes down. I remember that week 1. I forget who that receiver was. Was it Bourne? I think it was Bourne. Bourne couldn't get his toes down, and the Eagles ended up winning that game because it was a 4th down play. 25-20. That was against the Patriots. 34-28. That Thursday night. 5-point win, 6-point win, barely against the Vikings. They went to Tampa Bay and beat them by 2 scores. Played against Washington in October. The first game of October, they won by a field goal. They beat the Rams by 9, turned around the next week, lost to the Jets by 6. They beat Miami. I think that was the most impressive win they've had this year, was against Miami. The Jalen Hurts Tua game where they won by 2 scores. Turned around the next week, barely beat Washington again, beat Dallas by 5 on the 5th of November. But this is where the downhill slope starts to me. Kansas City, they won the game against Kansas City because we all know that MVS, bum ass, excuse my French, bum non-catching. He couldn't catch COVID if he, well, nobody wants to try to catch COVID, but he couldn't catch a cold if he tried. Dropped the ball in the end zone. They barely beat the Bills the next week, in which we all know the Bills should have won that game. They get spanked back-to-back weeks by the 49ers and the Cowboys, 42-19, 23-point spanking, then get a 20-point spanking by the Cowboys, and then turn around with the Seattle with the 13-man and lost that game late. On Christmas, we saw the Giants damn near come back on them with Tyrod Taylor, which I thought Tyrod should have started. If Tyrod would have started, that game might have been different. But they go ahead and they win that game after they took 1, 2, 3 losses, which should have really been 5 losses in a row. And then they lose to the Raiders. Then they lose to the Cardinals. To me, that doesn't look like a great. I mean, that looks like, yeah, they win close games, but damn, like that ain't the impressive Philadelphia Eagles of last year and what people was talking about. That don't sound too impressive to me. And then the last week of the season, of course, they get the Giants again, which I think is a major detriment that you played the Giants, Cardinals, and then Giants again the last 3 weeks of the season. Now, mind you, you're not a number 1 seed, and you gotta play. And you gotta play in the wild card, right? Because San Francisco's locked it up. So who's gonna be the 7? That very well could be Green Bay. I'm gonna be honest with you. It depends on what Green Bay team you get. Aaron Jones is back. They can run the football. Those young receivers in Green Bay are all right. Do I think that Green Bay will beat the Eagles? Probably not. Is it like far-fetched that the Green Bay Packers could go to Philly and win? Not at all. It's not at all far-fetched. My thing is, I think Green Bay's issue is going to be the defense if they play Philly. And that's where I think they're going to have their problem. The problem. I don't think it's going to be offensive. I think it's going to be defensive. But Philly, ugh. I don't know. That's one of them teams I got on suicide watch. 49ers obviously beat the Commanders. We know that. Saints beat the Buccaneers just when we all thought that the Buccaneers was real good and we thought they was going to be red hot. They turn around and lay an egg to the Saints, 23-13. At home, they lay an egg. Baker Mayfield, just when you want to give them some props, Baker Mayfield shows us all why we should be very skeptical of Baker Mayfield. Texans win 26-3 over the Titans. I have to say I like the job that the Texans have done. Definitely CJ Stroud should be rookie of the year. All right, Steelers, Najee Harris runs over the Seahawks. 30-23. Seahawks not making the playoffs this year. They should have closed the deal against Pittsburgh, and they didn't. They let Pittsburgh come into town. Pittsburgh has Seattle's number for some reason. They do. Even in the Super Bowl, we all remember back in the days, Pittsburgh beating the Seahawks in the Super Bowl too. Broncos 16-9 over the Chargers. Chiefs 25-17 over the Bengals. I told y'all the Bengals wasn't making the playoffs this year before the season even started. People didn't believe me. Now you believe me, right? And I don't want to hear no, oh well, Joe Burrow wasn't playing. I don't think that would have mattered. Jake Browning was playing pretty good, even without Joe Burrow. To be honest with you, I don't think that they would have made the playoffs anyway, because I don't see three teams coming out of the AFC North anyway. Even though it could happen, I don't see it happening. So I had them losing. They're the only team in the last couple of years that I felt like didn't have to go through any adversity the last couple of years, and they did this year. So with the adversity comes no playoffs, eliminated. Um, Packers 33-10 over the Vikings in Minnesota. Packers get the job done. Packers, all they got to do next week, win in Lambeau against the Bears. Win, you're in. Win and you're in. I go hold you. I just mentioned it again. I would be very skeptical, especially with the Philly defense. He's very skeptical to see what offense does more. So, with that being said, all right, NFC picture real quick before we go, because it's almost at the 2 hour mark. 1 San Francisco, 2 Dallas, 3 Detroit. Wait a minute. Who does Dallas play this week? I'm sorry. Who does Dallas play coming up? Oh, yeah, they already played. That's right. Duh. They played the Lions. But who do they play next? Because the Dallas Cowboys got one more game. I mean, Dallas and Detroit are right now, technically, they both lead their respective divisions. So Dallas is a 2, Detroit is 3 right now. But who they play next week? Let's see. Oh, they play the Commanders. Okay. So Dallas 2, Detroit 3. Wow. The NFC South. Interesting enough. I need to find out who in the NFC South right now. I know it was Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay lost last week. So let's look at the standings real quick and see who we have for 4. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. Let's check out who Tampa and New Orleans play. Because those are the 2 teams you got to worry about. Tampa, New Orleans. No, the Saints are not atop of the NFC South right now. Tampa Bay is still on top of the South right now for some reason. Oh, that's because of the tie break. Right. Tampa Bay has the better conference record. Tampa Bay plays the Panthers. They're getting away with one. Saints. Saints play. Oh, the Falcons. Interesting enough. Okay, so I have a question. What happens if the Falcons win and the Saints and the Buccaneers lose? They all would be 8-9. Who wins the division? Was my question. Because I don't think that Atlanta is eliminated yet. I didn't think I heard that. And I'm going to check to make sure. So I know Atlanta beat the Saints 24-15. So if they beat the Saints again and they're 8-9, then that means the Falcons have the tie break, so it doesn't matter. That means they would jump the Saints. But would they jump the Buccaneers is the question. Yes, the Saints just beat the Buccaneers, but the Buccaneers beat the Saints also earlier in the year. So technically the Buccaneers still have the tie break because of conference record, Braxton. So I'm wondering now if Tampa Bay loses to Carolina, does that mean Atlanta wins the division? Let's see. Let's go to the Tampa Bay Bucks. Yeah. See, Tampa Bay beat New Orleans 26-9 earlier in the season. So Tampa Bay technically still has the tie break because they have the better conference record. So they're first in the NFC South right now. But did they lose to the Falcons? That's my question. Well, yes, they lost to the Falcons on the 22nd of October. But then I think but then they beat the Falcons December 10th by 4. The Falcons beat them by 3. They beat them by 4. I would think, let's go to conference record. Oh, boy. What a shakeup. Gibbs is better to me than Bijan, even though Bijan has a lot of upside. Don't you get yourself up here. Oh, boy. Let's see. I'm going to check. I need to check one last thing. Yeah, that right there. Oh yeah. So Atlanta's conference record is 4-7, but Tampa Bay plays Carolina. So if they was to lose to Carolina, that means their division record is 3-3. If Atlanta beats who they are playing, which is once again, I want to say it's the Saints. Yep. If Atlanta beats the Saints and the Buccaneers was to lose to the Panthers, the Atlanta Falcons win the division because they have a better division record. They will win by division record. If they all end up 8-9, it first goes by division. So Atlanta would be 4-2 in the division. Atlanta would win the division and get a home game in Atlanta, which is crazy to even be thinking that. But I don't know if Carolina is going to be good enough to play spoiler against Tampa Bay. We'll see. Interesting enough. We'll see. So whoever the 4 seed is, 5 seed would be Philly, obviously. 6 seed would be the Rams. 7 seed would be the Packers. I mean, we'll see. That means Detroit would get the Rams in the first round. All right, we talked about that. Rams in Detroit. Detroit, is that who you want to see in the first round? You want to see the Rams? You sure about that? Oh, no. The Rams going to be a tough out, bro. They're going to be tough. That's going to be a tough out. And with that being said, I'm out. Because this has been fun. We at the 2-hour mark. I just want to say, before I go, there's going to be a whole lot of fun this week coming up. A whole lot of shows coming up. All right. Make sure you support. Shout out once again to the Upstate Lady Predators. Coming up, the show has been brought to you by them. And it's a lot of great things. A lot of great things in store. So with that being said, Happy New Year to everybody. Starting the year off right. 2024. You know what we do. The Lions could beat the Rams. But you know what we do. That's going to be a whole lot of fun this year. A lot more fun this year. I'll see y'all.